The sniper rifle is one of the highest damaging weapons in the game, let alone for sniper, because it has the ability to deal 450 damage with a fully charged shot. And anybody would think it would be insane to change this weapon. Well, that's what I thought until I found out about the Sydney Sleeper. And I know you're asking, how is it so good? Well, it coats enemies in Girardi. And what does this do? Well, if you're not aware of the effects of Girardi, when an enemy is coated in Girardi, it deals mini crits to them. And this can be very helpful for you and your team, because if your sniper didn't quite kill the enemy, then you can finish them off with another weapon, and your team can finish them off as well. And you can even help your team out by coating people in Girardi that your team are fighting, and the Girardi can last from 2 to 5 seconds depending on the charge, which is actually a pretty long time. And it can also extinguish your teammates, which is very helpful. There is also a plus 25% charge time, which can be really good with the Girardi effect. And this may not seem like a lot of time, but it can kill enemies really fast, and especially snipers, since they have to wait a little longer because of the charge time. Now, so far it looks like a pretty good weapon, with all the stats, and it sort of implies a supportive role. But there's one stat that makes people throw it in the garbage instantly, and that's its inability to do full crit headshots. Because it can only deal mini crits when you hit headshots, and that means it can only deal 200 damage instead of 450. The Girardi is also reduced by 1 second when you hit headshots with this weapon. And by hearing that, you guys are probably thinking the same thing. It's bad and there's no reason to use it, right? Well, no. I found that the weapon can actually be really good and effective if you coordinate with your team. So how do you use it in combat? Well, when using this weapon, you want to be supportive as you can to your team, so if your team is having trouble with the enemy, then you can help them out by coating them in Girardi. And even just quickscoping an enemy will work. However, be aware as it will only last 1 second. And this is especially helpful for the classes with more health, as it allows you to get kills way quicker. And you usually feel way more relaxed as it takes all that stress off getting kills because you can just help your team out. But since headshots deal mini crits, you can still get kills. It's just not as easy as the stock sniper rifle. And usually coating enemies in Girardi makes them retreat, and being able to make enemy snipers and heavies vulnerable is a huge thing, as it can save you and your team from getting killed. It can also coat invisible and disguised spies in Girardi, which may not seem that good, but it's actually really good to have. And that's pretty much it for combat. The no random critical hits don't really matter because they never affect your gameplay. And if you're looking for weapons to pair with this, I would recommend using the Girardi and the Bushwhacker. Because since the Bushwhacker does full crits when it's supposed to do mini crits, it can make for quite a deadly combo. And this means it can deal 195 damage. And it can pretty much one-shot every class except for soldiers and heavies. Well, unless they're using a weapon that gives them more health. So in conclusion, this can actually be a really good weapon if you use it with your team, and play supportively with them. However, be aware that you're not always going to get kills, you're usually only going to get kill assists as the weapon doesn't do as much damage when you hit an enemy with a headshot. And this weapon is really great if you're just starting out as sniper, because I'm not that good of a sniper and I thought I was actually doing something when I was using this weapon. And even if you're an experienced sniper, give this weapon a try because I don't really see it in loadouts anymore. And that's a real shame because it could be really good if you use it right. So now we're at the end of the video. Subscribe, thumbs up, and before I end the video I just want to say that I'm really thankful for all your support throughout my YouTube experience. So see you next time.